vultures are a critically endangered species from Africa. They're critically endangered primarily because of bush encroachment. This is a species like other vultures that needs kind of wide open expanses in order to find their food. Poisoning, both intentional and unintentional poisoning, is their #1 factor. As a smaller species of vulture, they also are outcompeted by the larger ones. More scavenger than any of the other species because they're just picking up the leftovers and tidbits that the larger species have left behind. We currently have 7 hooded vultures here at the zoo. Our hooded vulture population here has been really successful over the years at breeding, and this is a very rare thing actually in North America, but we are one of the regular breeders. Now, hooded vultures in the wild would produce 1 young probably every other year. We're able to get between 1 and 2 young. It's a little bit difficult to do, and it takes a lot of special expertise, and I think we've gotten pretty good at it. So we did something this year a little bit different with our 1 hooded vulture pair. We actually have a second pair that has decided they like each other, but they have not successfully produced just yet. But we are very hopeful for the future. Our historic pair is actually foster rearing a very genetically valuable chick. It's actually a boy. Most people don't know yet. Dallas Zoo has 3 pairs of hooded vultures, so they have a really lovely collection of African vulture species. Most all African vultures are of conservation concern. Dallas Zoo has a very genetically valuable pair that is really needed for the population overall. So a lot of the population in AZA right now of hooded vultures is not the most genetically stable or diverse. So this pair at Dallas Zoo, we'd like to get 2 chicks out of this year. So what happens is this pair laid an egg, found out it was fertile, and then they contacted us to see if we would be interested in having that egg taken and brought here in order to raise that young. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna make that pair think that their nest was predated, and then they're gonna go ahead and lay a second egg. Now this works really well with younger birds. You're gonna be able to lay multiple eggs in a season. But clutches of eggs for vultures are 1. So you have 1 chance. And so they have already laid another egg. So hopefully we'll have 2 wonderfully fledged, genetically valuable birds in the population. So we do have 2 pairs of hooded vultures here, and our second pair has not successfully bred yet, but they're working on it and practicing. And so this is the pair right over my shoulder. When vultures are pair bonding, they spend all their time together, side by side, kind of walking around, claiming their territory. Allopreening, which means they're preening each other's feather, and they'll share food items as well. So some people want to know, what is the easiest way to transfer animals? Well, when they're very, very young, it's actually easier to transfer them as an egg. So in this case, the egg was placed into an artificial incubator at the Dallas Zoo. Once it was almost ready to hatch, which for a hooded vulture egg is around 48 to 50 days, it's time for transfer. The chick is really fully developed, not much can happen to it. It's in this nice, beautiful package. We stick it in a special cooler with padding. This time I transferred them in a pelican case, pelican cases are used for all sorts of valuable equipment. And this time it was an egg. And so it gets checked through TSA to make sure that everything's going on. They can handle it, they can look at it, they can turn it, no big deal. There's some special hand warmers in there to keep the case a little bit warm. Then I just put it right under the seat on the airplane. I talk a lot about it because people wonder what it is. We've transferred eggs with numerous zoos, and so we've done it recently with White Oak, which is up in northern Florida. We've done vulture eggs with LA Zoo a couple different times, the Los Angeles Zoo, and now we've done it with Dallas Zoo, and every time it's been successful. They're adorable. Why do you care? Why do we care? Why are we doing this for vultures? Well, vultures are nature's cleanup crew, and they're amazing to have around. Otherwise, this world was going to be kind of a stinky mess. And why we have them here is so we can share that story and make people like vultures. Because like other animals around the world, and that you may have in your backyard, sometimes people don't really respect them as much as they should. But we care about vultures, and you should as well. This is the 8th successful hooded vulture chick we've had here at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm. So, lemur break. By the way, they're just chatting. They're not upset at each other. It does make it hard to have a conversation. And then the crane goes last.